All right. Whoo, we are live, ready to record another episode of Video Marketing Madness. And I'm so prepared for this that I combed my hair.
Oh, yeah, looks nice.
It looks, and I shaved for it, too, so I'm all prepared for this.
You kind of look like you could... hey, I'm getting some echo there, by the way. You might want to put your earbuds
in. I don't have any right now, so I can't.
Oh. Well, I don't talk much anyhow.
Yeah, we know. We try to limit that.
Yes, master.
Those of you tuning in right now are probably wondering what the heck is going on. Well, today we're going to talk about something that many people do not use very often. And now for something completely different. We're going to talk about cards and end screens, a very underutilized piece of YouTube. Now, we did talk a little bit about end screens and cards randomly during one of the other episodes, but we haven't had an episode specifically on them.
We didn't do that last week?
No. Last week we did talk about them a little bit, but I felt we needed to talk about them even more. Last week we did not talk about cards and end screens.
YouTube cards and end screens. That's what it says last week. YouTube cards and end screens.
Did we?
Okay.
I thought, wait,
Yeah.
now I'm confused. I thought last week we talked about something different. Am I that insane?
Well, maybe you're suffering from dementia.
I could very well be. Wait a second here. Hold on here. What's going on?
I'm the old guy. Well, yeah.
Did we really talk about that last week and I just totally blanked out on it?
Yeah.
YouTube cards and end screens. Holy crap. Well, doesn't that make things special? I must seriously be suffering from dementia because I'm like, we should talk about cards and end screens. And we talked about that last week. We did a whole episode.
Yeah.
And I remember I remember talking about them a little bit, but I was thinking we talked about something else and that we kind of mentioned them. And I'm like, we should do one specifically on that.
No.
Well.
We did. Oh, shoot. Now what do we do?
I'd love to say April Fools, but it's an August Fool, and it's me, apparently. Why did I think? For some reason, I was thinking we talked about something else and mentioned them, but wow, I'm losing it. I'm losing it big time.
We could talk about Plurk.
We could talk. Today's episode is going to be completely about using Plurk for your videos.
Meerkat. We can talk about Meerkat.
Everybody who's watching right now is going, what in the heck is going on? Oh my gosh, these guys have lost it. But no, in all seriousness, for some reason, I remembered last week we talked about cards and end screens a little bit, but I was thinking we were talking about something different and kind of mentioned them. And I'm like, we should do a whole episode on that. But I must be losing my complete mind. Wow.
You could be busy. I'm combing my beard. You could be, you're just busy, that's all.
Well, I think we're going to have to swap things around here a little bit.
What do we do now?
Well, I guess we could talk about something that we've kind of talked about in the past, but I think maybe what we'll talk about is dealing with stock media, because that's in the news right now. We got some stock media stuff going on. Yeah. We haven't talked about that in a little while. I know we've talked about it in the past, but
using stock media.
Yeah, we don't have a graphic that says that now, but that's okay. Graphics only for the video anyway. So for those of you who have suffered along this far thinking I've lost my mind, which I have, by the way, I've spent the entire day making YouTube thumbnails one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. So
I've done that. That will make
throw me off, I
mind
guess.
go numb. Mind numb.
But I don't know why I'm like, we're going to talk about that. Well, anyway, so we're going to talk about stock media today because that is something that is top of mind, especially after yesterday. I don't know if you saw my video that I made yesterday with the cows. So we're going to talk about stock media. All right, beautiful. Well, this is going to test how well I can play under pressure without official, written down, and planned out talking points.
Do you have a graphic for that?
No, but that's okay. People watching the video will see all this nonsense and know that there's no graphic. You can't see the graphic in the reason we're here is to record an audio podcast anyway. Nobody can see it, so. Oh, well. There you go. All right, we ready to give this a shot then? Ironically, Ironically, guess what? This episode is actually made possible by Thumbnail Blaster, which has nothing to do with stock media. There you go. A little trivia for you. All right, all kidding aside, let's get this show onto the road. Let's get this show under the road. Under the bus. It is under the bus. I have thrown it under the bus. Yes. On the road and under the bus. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to discuss stock media, where to get it, how to use it, and why you should. All of that, and today's episode is made possible by our good friends at Thumbnail Blaster. If you haven't picked up Thumbnail Blaster yet, you need to jump on this as fast as you can because it is the greatest thumbnail tool I've ever used. In fact, I don't really know of a whole lot of others that give you full design. There are some others out there that I've used in the past, but they didn't do quite what this does. TubeBuddy has a thumbnail creator in there, and vidIQ does, but they're very basic. This is a full-blown design studio for thumbnails. And not only is it for thumbnails, but it actually integrates directly with YouTube. So when you've got a video, you can choose your video inside of Thumbnail Blaster because you connect your account. You choose the video you want to put a thumbnail on. You choose the template, you modify the template, you hit publish, and automatically Tube Blaster puts your thumbnail on your video without you ever even having to go to YouTube. Now, what if you don't have your video ready yet and you want a thumbnail? Well, you can still go into Thumbnail Blaster, make a thumbnail, download it, and bring it in just like you normally would, and still make some beautiful thumbnails. All of that with...
I asked you a dumb question, you know. I published a YouTube video and then I made the thumbnail, but it was already indexed and it didn't show the thumbnail. So here's a real-life application. I asked Ray, what do I do? And he said, download the JPEG and upload it before you publish it.
There you go. And that's what you do. Yeah, if you don't have your video up there yet, or maybe you're planning a video, you want to make a thumbnail, you can still go into Thumbnail Blaster. You just choose you just don't choose a video, go into the template, pick the template you want, make your thumbnail, download it, and then when you're ready, you just upload it like you would any other thumbnail, like you made it in Photoshop. But, of course, if you do this in Photoshop, you got to start from scratch. In Thumbnail Blaster, you've already got the designs there ready to go. So check it out, raythevideoguy.com/thumbnail blaster to get your copy today. And with that, should we hit the funky music? I think we should.
Hit the funky music, Ray.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy. You can head on over to govmm.com if you want to. That's our landing page. And you can subscribe to the podcatchers. You can find them all there. Apple Podcast is the big one. Leave us a review, a 5-star review. Even though Ray didn't know what the program was going to be today. I guess you wouldn't know that if you're listening to the audio podcast. That was on the pre-show.
No, you wouldn't. That was only on the live. But
But anyhow.
Anyway, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, it's good stuff.
It is good stuff. I agree.
Yeah.
It is good stuff. And we're going to talk about something that actually was one of the things I wanted to do an episode about anyway, so it kind of helps out, and that is stock media, because stock media is highly, highly important for anybody that makes videos. So if you're making videos for yourself or a client or even just for fun, stock media can make a big difference. And Steve, have you ever seen the movie Ed Wood?
Oh yeah.
With Johnny Depp. Well, it's about a movie producer and director, and he would make these ridiculously horrible films. And one of the things that he did in a lot of his films was they were mostly made with stock media. He would grab old film of different things and use it to tell his stories as he made these horrible movies. And so, stock media can be used for a variety of things. It can be used to make a feature film. In fact, I was watching some, if you've ever watched a bad documentary, they don't know how to use stock media, but they build an entire documentary with this stock footage. And I kind of laugh. I was watching one. I can't even remember what it was so bad. I don't even remember what the actual documentary was about, but it sounded interesting until I started watching it. And it was all like, just random stock footage that they could find to match what they're saying. Oh, he liked strawberry fields, and so they would show strawberry fields. And it was just very random. But the point is, they could build this documentary, and when it's done right, you can use this stock media to build a documentary like that works really well. I use stock media. I mean, every day of my life. There's probably not a day that goes by, maybe on the weekends, but very few times where I'm not using stock media, whether it's music or videos, images, graphics for websites. I mean, there's a lot of different uses for stock media, but even today, I put together a couple videos and we used stock media in there. It was some dental videos, and I grabbed some dental footage, and I also grabbed some footage of people drinking sodas and coffees and people smiling and all of that to use inside the little video that we were creating. But stock media can really not only help you to enhance the videos, but it can actually help to tell the stories, make them look more professional too.
So now you've told me numerous times you make your own videos. So if you're using stock videos, does that count as your own video?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. That's a real inside joke. I use Content Samurai, and I asked you if you ever heard of it, and you said, no, I make my own videos. So.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
okay.
Sorry. Okay.
People listening to this later are going to be very lost.
You should have seen his face. Those of you on the audio
all three of you on Facebook Live are laughing right now. I'm telling you, but stock media, it's a very useful tool for telling your stories in your videos. Whether you're adding music that adds atmosphere, music can signal transitions. It can help bring out certain emotions. If you think about it, if you took a horror movie, one of the Friday the 13th movies, and you put silly, happy music on it, it's going to tell a totally different story than if you put, nice, spooky music underneath it. And we should play around with that sometime just to prove that. But the point being is that music can change the entire atmosphere of a video just by swapping out the music from, one for another. And so music is a very important part of that. And I don't know about you, Steve, but nobody wants to listen to any music that I create. So
no.
I need stock media in order to do that. And the same thing with video, because, if we're doing a video on dentistry, I can't shoot, hours and hours of footage to just have around. I need to be able to have footage that's available to me. If I'm working with a roofer, I need to have roofing stock media. If I'm working with a plumber, I need plumbing stock media. No matter what it is, lawyers, doctors, we need that stock media to be able to tell our story better. And even if you're doing things like interviews, like we used to do, I think we talked a little while back about doing interview videos where you do like the FAQ questions. And you sit down with a business owner and you ask them questions about that business and they talk about it. Well, you need to have stuff to back that up to make it a little more interesting, because staring at the same guy for 4 or 5 minutes can be a little tedious, and 4 or 5 minutes isn't too bad, but you still want to enhance that a little bit. So as they're talking about motor vehicle accidents, you probably want to have footage of motor vehicle crashes, people driving, maybe police cars at an accident scene, somebody being put in an ambulance, all these things that would back up what they're saying.
Somebody's head caved in.
Yes, we could get a picture of somebody's head caved in, and people love that. By the way,
I haven't been drinking. I swear, I'm just.
But actually, it's funny you bring that up. But as I was doing, I mentioned that I was doing some of the dental videos, and one of the things that's they talk about in the dental videos are we were doing one on people with soft teeth and stuff like that, and I have to go and find like these pictures of these awful teeth, and it just. I mean, it's hard. I can't even imagine. Can you imagine doing the really scary stuff with like a car crash? But I mean, just the teeth, it's enough to make me cringe.
Man.
So it's very, very difficult to do that.
A dermatologist extracting cysts.
Yeah, I couldn't do that kind of stuff. But fortunately, there is stock footage that we could use and just not pay a lot of attention to it when we put it in there. But it can be very, very effective. Think about this as well. You can change an entire mood of something with stock media. If somebody's talking about a fairly dry subject that deals with, dentistry or whatever, and you put, a stock video of the little plastic chattering teeth or something, you can add some comedy to different things as they're talking. You can add drama to things by adding the right stock media. And the great thing is that nowadays it's very, very easy to get stock media and use it. Now, back in the day, and I remember, going back to when I was first really getting into video, you couldn't just go online and get the music that you wanted, or go online and get the stock footage that you wanted, or the images that you wanted. It was actually quite difficult. You had to buy gigantic collections of these things and have them on the shelf. So I remember we used to have, the one that we had was the Valentino music collection, Valentino. And so we wanted to use music. We would have to go, okay, what's this? Oh, this video is kind of mysterious. We need to, hey, this is the Valentino Disc 5. It's spooky soundtracks,
All recorded during World War II, I think.
Actually, these were pretty modern. These were new ones.
Okay.
They I think they're still around. I think they still do it, but they were, these were all on CD. They were all modern. They had a lot of really nice new tunes, but you went up to the shelf and you had to look and be like, oh, here's the spooky ones, or here's the upbeat news soundtracks, and go and listen to them all and figure out which one you wanted. Whereas now you would just go to a site like Music Bakery or AudioJungle or one of those types of places and just put in, spooky, and it would pull up a bunch of spooky soundtracks, or news, and it would pull up, what sounds like news soundtracks, business, and it'll pull up business soundtracks. And then you could take those and put them into your videos. And it's a lot easier, a lot quicker, and you have a lot more variety than you did before. And I remember after the Valentino, one of the ones that I had was, if I could remember the name of it. I still have the CDs. They're in the closet over here, too. It was Sound something or other. And what was neat about that was you actually took these CDs. These CDs had music tracks in them. But what you did was you used a piece of software, and you would bring your video in. And if your video was 2 minutes and 12 seconds, it would take that soundtrack and it would build a custom song that was exactly 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So you didn't have to fade out or anything like that. So it was kind of neat. But again, still a pain in the neck. A lot harder than just downloading one, off of one of the websites. So where could you get this music? Well, I kind of mentioned a couple of them. Music Bakery. Honestly, I don't even know if that one's still around. That's the first one that I used to use when I first started doing things online. They may still be around. I haven't been there in a long time. But the one that I use is probably the same one that you use, Steve, which is AudioJungle, which is part of the whole Envato family with VideoHive and Photo Dune and GraphicRiver and Code Canyon, all these wonderful names. So they have one that's called AudioJungle, and you literally go there and open up the site and you say, okay, I want, a comedy soundtrack, and boop, it's going to bring up all the comedy ones. You listen to them, you pick the one you want, you download it for, $5 to $14, depending upon the track and depending upon who the author is. And there you go. You've got a nice soundtrack that you can use in your videos. Very quick and easy. You had something to say there, Steven?
No, I was just trying to find those old music libraries online, because I remember I managed a recording studio when I was in college, and we had, shelves upon shelves upon shelves of albums. We had them on album, and that's how long ago this was.
Yeah, and we
had them on vinyl.
And of course, it's not just music. Music is just one of the many things that you can use for stock media. We're talking about graphics, backgrounds, videos, and everything else. And there's a lot of different places. And one of the places that I used to get a lot of stuff from was a company called Digital Juice, and they're still around. And you can buy these big packages. They're expensive, but you buy the whole shebang, and you get access to all sorts of animated backgrounds, which is where they started. In fact, I remember those guys in the long before the internet was a big thing. They used to make stuff for the video toaster. And if you remember the video toaster, and that was actually, they had a different name then. And it was, I think it was like Digital something or other. And I can't remember what it is now. Now it's Digital Juice. And they transitioned into providing animated backgrounds, and so they used to just build these collections of animated backgrounds that you could buy and you could put into your products. They would actually send you a disc with the stuff on there. You'd take it, you'd put it into your project, and you'd have a nice backgrounds. And then they started getting into a lot of other things like music, and now they do stock video and a bunch of other stuff. So it's a great little company. It's not cheap, but it's, you buy bulk packages of these things, and you put them on your shelf and you have them available when you need them. But of course, we mentioned Envato, they've got VideoHive. VideoHive is filled with all sorts of stock media. Stock video rather. So you can go in there and you can find things, stock video of plumbers and whatever, cities. And now I will say this, I love these guys because they are still inexpensive, but their collections are a little bit limited. They, if you want very specific things, you may or may not find it on VideoHive. So what I like to do is, if I'm going to buy a piece of media, and let's say I'm working on a video for, again, a dentist, and I go into there, I search for a dentist video, and I find a clip that I like, and I download it, and I pay for it, and I use it. And again, you're going to pay, $14, $20, something like that, which is great because we're going to talk about another option in a few minutes that's not quite so cheap. So I go in there, and I find what I need, I download it, and put it into the project. If I can't find what I need there, then I need to move on to the next step. And the next step is to go to iStock. Now, iStock is a great place, lots and lots of material. If you need it, they're going to have it. However, you're going to pay for it. In fact, you're going to pay a lot for it. Those guys can charge sometimes $120 per video clip. So you think about this now, if you're doing a video for a dentist and he's only paying you $1,000 to do this video and you need 5 clips and you go to iStock, guess what? More than half the entire money is going right to iStock to get those 5 clips that you need. So you got to be very careful with this. But iStock it's kind of they probably have the best high quality video out of all of them. You're going to get good stuff there, but it's going to be very expensive. They're going to have what you need, but it's going to be very expensive. Go to a place like VideoHive, you're going to find most of what you need there a lot cheaper, and it's going to be really good stuff as well. But you definitely don't want to go to iStock until it's your last choice, or if you really need something very, very specific, because it is very expensive. So I thought you were going to say something there, Steve.
Yeah, well, I've used, the only time I've ever used iStock is for the photos, because otherwise it's just way beyond my ability to pay for it.
The photos are way out of league as well. I mean, you're talking $30 to $60 per image.
But I mean, the videos, I don't have money to do that. I mean, if I'm really in a jam, I'll get a photo, but I can't think of the last time I did that,
I've done it a couple times, but just because I had to at that point.
Yeah.
But the other good thing about this is, and one of the things that we'll be leading up to on this, is there are some other alternatives that don't require paying all this money for some of the stock footage and whatnot, or some of the stock music. And we'll talk about those in just a couple minutes. Of course, the next thing, of course, is the stock images. Same type of thing. You can go to a place like photodune.net, which is part of that same family. So you go there, you're going to find most of the images that you need. And again, if you don't, then you can head to iStock and hopefully get something there for not too crazy a price. But iStock, it's going to cost you $30 to $60 per image, so it's not cheap at all. And of course, then you've got graphics. Once again, Envato, they've got GraphicRiver. That's where you're going to get like cartoon type drawings, images, graphics, mock-ups, backgrounds, all of that kind of stuff will be there. And again, you can find almost anything you want there. There's no reason to go anywhere else than that. I don't even think iStock has a place for stock graphic type stuff anyway. So for me, when it comes to the graphics, GraphicRiver is going to have pretty much all of that. But there are, as I said, with any of these things, there are other alternatives. I know some of you are probably screaming, Pond 5, Pond 5. Pond 5, I remember when they came out, and I got involved with them at the very, very beginning, and I'm like, man, these guys stink. I mean, there was just nothing there. And now it's a pretty big company. They've got a lot of stuff there. So that's a good place to get some of your stock media as well, Pond 5. So you can definitely check that out. Shutterstock is, when I say iStock, Shutterstock, same exact thing. They're kind of interchangeable with me when it comes to ridiculous costs and whatnot, but they're going to have everything that you need with that. So if you're going to be doing these things and you want to be able to save some money, we're going to talk a little bit now about how you can get some of this stock media for a much lower price. There are some caveats to that, of course. Anytime you're going to go cheaper, there's going to be some issues with that. And the first one being that you're not going to get all the selections that you want all the time. And some of the great sites that are out there, people love to use Unsplash, Unsplash, Unsplash.com. That is a place for free images. So if you go there, you can find a lot of free stuff. Many of the softwares that you use are probably integrated with Unsplash to automatically pull free images into your programs and things like that. But if you're looking for an image, you can start off with Unsplash and see if you can get a nice free image out of there. Another site that you can do that with is called Pexels, Pexels. And they're going to be kind of the same thing. They're going to have all the sorts of free images. They also have free video. So you can search stock video there as well. I will say with their images and their videos, and this goes with Unsplash as well, a lot of times it tends to be more European. So for instance, if you're looking for something to deal with a house, you're probably going to find houses in Europe. So much older, much different houses. If you're trying to show something in America, people are going to look at it and go, I've never seen a house like that around here, because it's mostly going to be European type stuff and old Europe stuff. A lot of Eastern Europe stuff as well. So that's one thing to consider. So you're looking up things with cars. A lot of times it's going to be cars where they're driving on the opposite side of the road. If you're in America, those cars are going to be driving on the wrong side of the road for you. So you got to be careful with those types of things. What's that?
Lots of pictures of Trabants.
Yes. I don't know what that is.
East German car.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Made out of cardboard by the communists. Sorry. I'll just shut up.
That could well be the case. But I know, like, when we've looked for things like roofing, videos with roofing, and you go to those sites, you tend to find roofs that you would not find in America very often, so it's tough to use some of that material if you're here in the U.S. But it is a great place to find a lot of things. Like if you need shots of the sky and mountains and water and all that kind of fun stuff, you can find a lot of good material there to use. People drinking and eating, walking down the street, stuff like that. It's a very good place to get those types of shots when you need them. So I would highly recommend you start at some of those. Pixabay is another one that has the free images and the free videos. You're probably going to find Pixabay, Pexels, they're going to have a lot of the same materials. So if you search one and then you search the other, you're probably going to see a lot of the same things. But it is an opportunity to get some of this stuff completely for free. So if you want to start off, get the things you need, try the free places, see if you can get the stuff there without paying for it. And when you can't, then you can move up to some of the Envato sites. And then if you can't find exactly what you need, then you go to iStock or Shutterstock and start to grab some of those materials and pay them the ransom fees for that. But as always, there is another option out there. And this one is a little more obscure, costs a little bit of money, but overall is very inexpensive. And that is, every once in a while, probably 4 or 5 times a year, there are different people that come out with these massive collections of stock video or stock images that they've put together. And it's funny because back when this first started a couple years ago, I would promote this product and it was like, hey, it's got 100 stock videos that you can use. Well, now it's like, whenever these come out, it's like 25,000 stock videos in one package for only $20, And by the way, I get every single stinking one of those. Every single one, every single time. Whether it's stock music, stock videos, stock, pictures, whatever it is, I pick them up every single time and I grab them and I put them on a hard drive because even if there's only, out of 10,000 images, if there's only 2 that are any good that I ever use, it's still going to be cheaper than buying them somewhere else. And there's always a lot of good material. A lot of times there's stuff you'll never use, but you get 25,000 videos or 10,000 images or 20,000 songs, there's going to be stuff in there that you'll use. And given that these things usually go on sale for $10 to $40, you can't go wrong. That's less than the price of one image on a place like iStock, and you're getting 10,000 images or 20,000 images or 20,000 videos. And so I highly recommend keep your eyes peeled looking for those types of things, because you really can't beat them. You can't, I mean, honestly, you could not possibly go wrong picking those things up, because there's always going to be something on there that you're going to use that's going to be good, that's going to be useful. And the music, I mean, if only 2 songs are good in the whole collection, it's still going to save you money. So, and I guarantee there's, you may hate some of them, you may love some of them, but there's definitely going to be stuff that you can use in those packages, which is why I always pick them up. I've got hard drives just filled with these stock medias that I've picked up over the years. And when I can get rights to those things, like seller's rights, I always buy that too, because I want to be able to turn around and put these into my own collections that we sell. And we do. We sell and give away stock media with different things all the time, because I buy packages, I buy the rights to redistribute them, and then, I use them for whatever I need to use them for, to sell to people, to give away, whatever. But, anytime you can get your hands on those, it's worth it. And based on the video that I made yesterday, if any of you saw that, this is yesterday would be yesterday was the first? Yes, the first. I released a video for one of these collections that's actually coming out in a couple of days. And the collection is called Stock Nation 2. And you can check it out right now. It's at the time of this recording, it's not available yet, but you can still check out our page and watch the funny video with me on a farm and all that kind of stuff with the livestock. Get it? Stock Nation livestock. But you can check that out at raythevideoguy.com/stocknation, all one word, and you'll see that video, and you'll see they've got a collection of 25,000 videos that you can use, stock media. But the great thing about this one, and this has happened a few times now, most of those big collections, you have to download gigabytes of stuff, put it onto a hard drive. What's great about the Stock Nation one is it's very similar to an iStock or a VideoHive, where you go to a website, you search for what you want, and you download it. You just don't have to pay. You are a paid member already, so you go in there and you download whatever you need. So if you need a dentist video, you go in and you download some dentist clips. And you don't have to download 10 terabytes of stuff just to get your couple of dental clips. So that's a really nice feature. The only problem for me, and this is the problem I run into, is, a couple weeks down the road, I'm like, oh crap, where's that login? And I can't remember where, what the URL is to get logged back in, so I have to go search for it. But as long as you write it down somewhere and keep it handy, it's a very, very useful feature to not have to download all of those things. So highly recommend. Check that out. It's raythevideoguy.com/stocknation. Steven.
Do they let you bookmark stuff in Safari?
Yes.
Okay.
Safari or Chrome, you can bookmark things, yeah. I'm just not very, I got to be honest, I'm not that savvy with that stuff, and I never do, and then I always wish I had.
Yeah.
It's one of my character flaws.
Well, that and your hair.
That and my lovely hair.
Did you stick your finger in an electric socket today, or what happened?
No, you know what? I don't like to put product in my hair very often. And so sometimes when I don't put something to hold it down, it kind of goes crazy. But, on radio days when we're going to be live, I probably should. And days where I'm going to videotape things, I usually do. But I didn't today, because most of the time I just kind of, get up, get ready, get out the door, and work all day and go home. And so nobody sees me except, if I go on live. And I did go on live today, so I should have done that. But, of course, I need a haircut. That was part of it, too, was I wasn't worried because I was going to try and go get a haircut today, and I haven't, so.
Which one are you going to get cut?
This one right here, number 8325.
All righty.
So,
all right. My haircut. See?
Now, you can't get stock haircuts, though. That's the only problem.
No.
So one of the other things that you can actually get that is out there quite a bit is stock images that are already cut out of a background. And now this is not for video. This is for like websites. And that's another one that, you can get some really cool stuff with that. In fact, I want to give you guys, for those that are listening, I want to give you guys a special free gift, which, of course, I don't have open in front of me. So I'm going to chatter on a little bit to make it look like I know what I'm talking about when I'm actually just doing a search here. But
that's okay.
I've actually got
We know you know.
I know, everybody knows, and of course the fact that I say it out loud doesn't help much, but what we have is we've put together some pages that have some free giveaways for different things, and one of the things that we have that we give away are these stock images with the backgrounds already cut out. We've got a bunch of them, and I want to pass along one of those to you guys so that we can kind of give you a free gift for watching and listening. And so if I can find the right page here as I go through, and maybe if I can't find it, I'll give you something else instead. But I know we've got the stock cutout images, which I think are useful. And
yeah, that would be very helpful.
It would be very helpful if I could find them in here. I've got literally about 200 web pages of stuff that we can give away. And of course, the one I'm looking for is the one I can't find right away. So let me see if I can find this.
We,
so
we
Steve,
can put it in the notes if we need to.
We can certainly do that. And that's Steve's way of saying, hurry up, dummy.
Yeah. Well, if I could sing, I would sing. But
well, there you go. Maybe that's what we should do. We should teach Steve
I've
to
been
sing.
banned from singing at my church. So
wow, that's pretty hardcore. That is a hardcore church if you're banned from singing.
That's a hardcore church. Heavy on the law.
Heavy on the law, breaking the law.
Heavy on the law.
Yes, so of course I can find everything except what I'm looking for. Actually, wait, I think I found it. Oh, I found it.
Did you? Yeah,
I sure did. All right, there it is. So I'm going to give a link here. And on this page, you can actually download, I believe it's 100 free cutout images. So you'll be able to get quite a few in there. And I'm going to get that published link here. And just so in case anybody wants to know what it is, it's raythevideoguy.com/transparent-4, that's FOUR-giveaway. So transparent 4 giveaway, but you got to type out the word 4.
Transparent-4 giveaway?
Giveaway, yep. Made it nice and easy for everybody to remember. That would be my assistant Justin who made that lovely link. Transparent.
You want to put
4.
that in the comments section on your.
I have already done it. It is already there.
Very good.
That'll give anybody a nice. I believe there's 100 transparent background images, so those can be used obviously for video. They can be used for PowerPoint presentations and keynote presentations and websites and anything where you want to put a graphic, but you don't want to have that big white box around whatever it is. You'll now have these nice transparent images that you can use. People, places, and things, baby. Anything that you want. So that's our free gift to you for putting up with us and our craziness this week here on Video Marketing Madness. So
that's right.
Yes, indeed.
And with all that in mind, the show brought to us today by...
Well, today's show is actually brought to us by the good folks at Thumbnail Blaster. If you do any kind of video on YouTube, and even other places too besides YouTube, really, you need to have good quality thumbnails that get people's attention and get them to click onto your video and start watching. In fact, YouTube recently said that when they recommend videos, the things they look for are the thumbnail and the title, and pretty much that's it. So if you don't have a good thumbnail, there's a good possibility they're going to pass you over. And of course, when people are doing searches, if you don't have a good thumbnail, they're probably going to pass you over there as well. So you need to put a thumbnail that gets people's attention, gets them to click and watch your video. And the way you do that is by having quality thumbnails. And you can make them at Thumbnail Blaster, the software that gives you a whole bunch of templates that you can use to build your thumbnails and connects directly with your YouTube channel so you can pull in the videos that you want to add a thumbnail for, and you can export it directly from there into your YouTube so you can have your thumbnail up and running even without ever logging into YouTube itself. It does it all right from the software. From the same folks who brought us Lingo Blaster that pulls other languages for your videos, this is a great thumbnail builder. It even has something we didn't talk about up front. It has a split test thumbnail system, so you can actually split test your thumbnails and see which one gets the most clicks. So, how do you do that? Well, you got to start off by going to raythevideoguy.com/thumbnail-blaster to get a good look at what's going on there today, see it in action, and then, of course, pick it up and start using it for you and, of course, your clients who need it as well. So, Thumbnail Blaster. Check it out. Woo!
Very cool.
Woo! Woo!
Well,
and with that, another episode down the hatch. Everybody's got it stuffed down their throat, and we're going to stuff one more thing down your throat, and that is our lovely theme song. Are you ready to hear that, Steve?
I am. I'm very ready.
All right. Well, then here it is.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.